A lot has been said about the different types of hip hop. There's popping, locking, waving, boogaloo, tutting, b-boy, contemporary, etc., on and on and on. So, coming from you, the originator of hip hop, what is hip hop dance?
Well, first and foremost, let's establish hip hop is a culture. It's not a dance. It's a culture. It's MCing, DJ, graph writing, b-boying. B-boying is the original dance of hip hop culture. Hip hop dance sprang out of b-boying. After b-boying, after what we call the Beat Street breaking era, with the movies and the complete exploitation of b-boying and that the entire culture, that kind of died down, and hip hop dance was born out of that. Now, popping and locking and whacking are all West Coast art forms. I'll use the term funk styles. That's one of the terminology that Pop and Pete originated, because those dances are funk originated. They're based in funk. They predate hip hop. Well, popping doesn't, but locking predates hip hop. So those dances were adopted into the hip hop culture, but they're not actually hip hop dances. They're, an entire West Coast culture of itself that now has been, co-opted by hip hop. But originally it's b-boying and then hip hop dance. Now, the reason we call what we did hip hop dance and not b-boying, first and foremost, b-boying predates the terminology hip hop. Hip hop was a slang term, like hip hop, shoo-wop, da. It's Africa Bambaataa who decided that all of these elements together needed a name, and he picked hip hop, and it worked perfectly. It made sense. Now, that was in 1982 or 81, but the culture started in 73. The reason we called what we did hip hop exclusively is because all of the dances that I showed you today, we only did them to hip hop music. We only did them. You didn't dance if they played funk. You didn't dance this way if they played, electronica. You didn't dance disco like this. When hip hop came on, you did hip hop dance. If they played the WAP, you did the WAP. If they played Do the James Brown, you did the James Brown. If they played Do the Smurf, you did the Smurf. That's why we called it hip hop, and that's what separated it from b-boy. And that's what gets lost in the hysteria of calling everything hip hop. But again, locking, popping, those are West Coast art forms, and they have an entirely separate history from b-boying, rocking, hip hop, and house.
What do you have to say about the resurgence of, I'm not going to use the term hip hop, but urban cultural dances today on television, in movies, commercials, etc.? Do you think it is a mirroring of the commercialization of b-boying in the early 1980s, or do you think it's a new entity entirely?
I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think, well, first off, I don't think it's a reemergence. I just think that as hip hop as a culture has gone global, and for I'd say a good decade or so, Middle America was not ready for hip hop. They were not ready for basically to be non-PC, for Black and Latino people to be in their living room all day, every day. But now, the culture of America and the culture of the world is totally different. We're in a different time and a different place. So as that phenomena of we are the world, that people started to let go of their fears, the culture spread, and it became as American as apple pie. So now you cannot think about hip hop as not being a part of everyday culture. I mean, it's a part of everything now. So the dance and the entire culture of it has become homogenized in everyday America. So now you're seeing the exploitation of it is on another level. I wouldn't even put it as the way from the b-boy era, because it was brand new then, and people were just doing things and saying things just because the cameras were on. And you still have some of that now, but now there's a backstory. So if you really want to dig into the essence of the culture and you see it on TV, it's no longer, ooh, what's this on TV? Now it's identifiable. You know it when you see it. Oh, it's hip hop. It's on TV. Oh, it's they're break dancing or b-boying. Oh, they're popping. Oh, they're locking. Oh, they're doing house. Oh, they're doing, you can identify it. There's terminology. There's a vocabulary. So it's no longer new, and it's no longer this, this what can I say? It's no longer, again, it's no longer just in New York City or either. It's no longer just in the South Bronx. It's in South America. It's the South Pole. It's the south of France. It's a global phenomenon now. So it's part of world culture now. It's no longer just an American thing. It's a global thing. So now we're at a different place. So now you're going to see more of it because it's ingrained in our everyday lives. It's no longer just like, oh, look at what these kids are doing. Now it's, oh yeah, the kids, they're dancing. Oh, they got their hat turned backwards. I mean, when you have on regular TV and they're using terminology like, oh, I got my bling. Bling bling is a hip hop slang. I mean, and now it's every day. You have grandmothers, you say bling, they pull out their jewelry. So again, it's no longer this small thing from the South Bronx. Now it's part of American culture. So I think it's a different time. It's being exploited a bit like before, but not in the same way.
What do you think needs to happen with modern day, the term urban dance culture, hip hop culture, to return it to its roots? Do you think it needs to return to its roots of historical awareness and respect? Do you think it's good as is? What do you think?
I don't really think that at its root there was a historical awareness. I mean, people knew, but a lot of people didn't know. I just think it's at a great place, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. But I think what's missing is, again, why do you dance? Is it to be cool? Is it to be on TV? What is it for? Because when we did it, it was because we loved it. When the music played, you danced. You had no choice. You didn't have. It was like the music is. You couldn't sit down. It was that you loved it that much. You had to do it. And I'm not getting that from people now. That's what I think is lost, is the motivation behind it. We all did it because we loved it. It's the reason why we still do it. We did it because the music moved us so much. The culture moved us so much that we had to participate. And now I think when I see dancers, they only dance when there's an audition. They only dance in class. They only dance for the cameras or for the mirrors. But if you turn on some music and they don't move, they don't get it. And I'm like, why don't you get it? What are you listening to the music for? Is it so you look cool with your hat turned to the side and your wristband and your bling and your watch or whatever? Or is it because the music moves you? I mean, I think that's what's, we have a part that get it and the part that don't get it. And, of course there's always a dichotomy. There's always a yin and a yang. So I still think it's at a great place because people are aware. Again, you know what it is. So, and I always think it's great to debate things like, the people, oh, this is hip hop, this is my culture now. I'm not from the South Bronx. I'm not from the ghetto. But again, you're calling it urban. Urban means city. City, street, ghetto. Hello. You can't get away from that. So I think it's at a great place, and I think because again it has such a great backstory that from here on I think it'll grow. And the one thing, it's not controllable. I do not feel like people need to be controlled and told what to do. You give them a choice and let them make their choice. It's like in the Matrix, you have the blue pill and the red pill. You have choice.